You know that feeling, right? You ask an AI for something, and what you get back feels like it came from a super smart intern who takes everything literally. The answer is technically correct, but it's totally useless. It's so frustrating, and it really feels like the AI just isn't getting you.
Okay, so let's get right into it. Here's the secret. The problem usually isn't the AI. Nope, it's the prompt. It's the instruction you gave it. But hey, don't worry, because there's a solution, and it's a skill called prompt engineering. This is the absolute key to unlocking what these incredible models can actually do. Think about it like this. A vague prompt, that's like sending a one-word text. But a really detailed prompt, well, that's like handing over a full project blueprint. One is basically a guess, a shot in the dark. The other gets you exactly what you were picturing in your head. Getting this right is probably the most fundamental skill for working with AI today.
So, how do we get there? We're going to break this all down into 3 levels. We'll start with the basics and then move all the way up to building these complex, powerful ways for an AI to reason. Trust me, this isn't some niche skill anymore. It's absolutely essential for getting real work done. All right, first up, level 1, laying the foundation. And to make this super clear, we're going to stick with one example the whole way through, getting an AI to explain climate change. Let's see how we can tweak that simple request to get much, much better results.
So we're going to start with two basic techniques. On one hand, you've got zero-shot prompting. That's just what it sounds like. You just ask directly and you're counting on the AI's built-in knowledge. Then there's few-shot prompting. This is where you give it a few examples first, kind of showing it the pattern you want it to follow. This is fantastic when you need a really consistent tone or format.
So here's our zero-shot prompt. See how we've added just a little bit of context? The target audience is a high school student. This is pretty much the most basic kind of prompting you can do. And yeah, it works fine for simple stuff, but it can still be a bit too general, you know? It might not hit the specific angle you were hoping for. But now, look at this. This is where it gets really interesting. By giving it these two simple, direct explanations first, we're not just asking it to explain climate change. We are teaching it how we want it explained. The AI sees that simple, concise style, and it mimics it. And just like that, you get a much more focused and on-point answer.
Okay, so those are the fundamentals. But what about tasks that need some actual thinking, not just spitting back facts? Well, that brings us to level 2, where we unlock the AI's ability to reason, to think more deeply about a problem. And the star player at this level is something called chain of thought prompting. Instead of just asking for the final answer, you tell the AI to show its work, to think out loud. And the research on this is clear. It dramatically improves how well the AI performs on complex tasks, everything from tough math problems to writing a business plan, because you're forcing it to slow down and build a logical argument.
And this shows you exactly how it works with our example. By breaking down explain climate change into these logical steps, we're not just hoping for a good structure, we're guaranteeing it. We are guiding the AI step by step to produce an explanation that's way more thorough, more accurate, and just easier to understand. The output is just on another level. And here's the really cool part. You don't even have to write out all the steps yourself. Just by adding this little magic phrase, let's think step by step, at the end of your prompt, you can trigger the AI to use its own reasoning process. It's such a simple trick, but it can cause a massive jump in the quality of the response.
But what happens when a problem is so complex that even a single chain of thought isn't enough? Well, welcome to Level 3, Advanced Architectures. This is where we start using frameworks that get the AI to plan, to weigh different options, and even to use tools to find new information.
First up is something called tree of thoughts. If chain of thought is about following one single path to a solution, tree of thoughts is like exploring a whole forest of possibilities. It's the difference between just giving an answer and actually brainstorming multiple solutions, judging them, and then picking the very best one. Let's see how this actually works. With this prompt, we're telling the AI to explore different angles before it even starts writing the final answer. This is how you can get an AI to, say, draft 3 different marketing slogans and then choose the most powerful one, all in a single go. It's incredibly powerful for any kind of creative or strategic task.
Okay, now for something that is a total game changer, the React framework. This is where we plug the AI's brain into the real world. React stands for Reason and Act. It lets the model figure out what information it doesn't have, and then, and this is the key part, take an action, like searching the web to go find it.
And you can see that loop right here. The AI reasons, my info might be out of date. So it acts by going out and searching for the latest data.
Then it synthesizes or combines that new information into its final answer. This completely transforms the AI from a static library of old facts into a dynamic researcher that can give you answers that are up to the minute.
So look how far we've come. We've gone from basic questions all the way to these advanced frameworks. At this point, you're not just asking questions anymore, you're designing the way an AI thinks. So let's talk about how you can take all of this and become a real prompt pro.
First things first, iterate. Never ever settle for the first thing the AI gives you. Treat it like a conversation, refine your instructions. Second, really master the patterns we've covered today. There are great free resources out there, like promptingguide.ai, that can help. And finally, once you've got the basics down, specialize. Look for courses and guides that are tailored to what you want to do, whether that's coding, marketing, or something else entirely. Because at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. Prompt engineering is your leverage. It's the skill that turns a generic, kinda okay paragraph into a perfectly tailored, actionable blueprint. It takes you from just being a passive user to being an active architect of what you create with AI. So now it's your turn. Think about a task you do every single week. Maybe it's writing an email, planning a project, whatever. And just think about how a better engineered prompt could completely transform it. The only way to really learn this stuff is by doing it. So what are you going to build first?